Let's move on to the Harris interview with Bret Baier. I thought her obsessive references back to Donald Trump seemed to underline her tendency to just keep shifting the blame away from the past 3.5 years. What did you make of it?
Well, it's obvious that Kamala Harris doesn't really believe that she was vice president for 3.5 years because she won't take any responsibility for anything that happened, especially things that went wrong. As for Donald Trump, her basic campaign argument is, I am not Donald Trump, and I'm not Joe Biden because I look differently than he does. So because I'm not Biden, I'm not Trump, you should vote for me. That's it.
Yeah, fair enough. And look, on her past statements, it kind of feels like she's almost treating voters as, well, basically stupid. Let me play you this clip from the interview.
When it comes to immigration, you supported allowing immigrants in the country illegally to apply for driver's license, to qualify for free tuition at universities, to be enrolled in free health care. Do you still support those things?
Listen, that was 5 years ago, and I'm very clear that I will follow the law. I have made that statement over and over again, and as Vice President of the United States, that's exactly what I've done, not to mention before.
That was 5 years ago, John. That was a lifetime away. But basically, to me, it feels like she's saying, look, I'll be whoever you want me to be. Just give me your vote.
Well, it's even worse than that. Look, presidents take an oath to follow the law. It's somehow some praiseworthy event that she says she's going to follow the law. She has to follow the law. Now, question is, do you want to change the law as you proposed 5 years ago? She didn't say yes, and she didn't say no. She just said, I will follow the law. But that's when the statement ends, and we still don't know anything about what she really believes in or actually would want to do.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, there was a great piece in the Financial Times, I thought, this week, which said that it's not just the problem with her word salads, but the real issue is the deeper vagueness and the fact we don't know whether or not she's an empty suit or if she's actually trying hard to hide her leftist tendencies. What do you think about that? Which side do you come down on?
I come down with The Wizard of Oz, where, the famous character, The Wizard of Oz, says, I could while away my hours reflecting on my powers if I only had a brain.
I love it, John. Now, what was also, it does seem to me there's another big problem here this week. I want to bring this story to your attention. During the debate, Donald Trump was fact-checked on whether or not crime had been going up or not, and he said it had been going up. And then all of a sudden, there are all the fact checks. Everybody says, oh, well, he's wrong, Donald Trump's wrong. Crime is actually going down. Just look at the FBI statistics. And now, all of a sudden, the FBI has quietly revised its statistics and proved Donald Trump right, but not before the damage was done. John, again, where do you come down on this? Was this a deliberate mistake, a crisis of competence, or just basic bureaucratic idiocy that just happened to fall in the right direction for the Democrats?
Nothing happens by accident in Washington, comrade. Nothing. Remember in 2016, James Comey decided that he wanted to play it safe and balance things out because, of course, he had let Hillary off the hook on the email scandal. So in the last 10 days, he announces, we're reopening the investigation into her email server and the computer. And then, of course, didn't do anything. But he thought he had covered his bases. And then Trump wins. And Comey himself has admitted in his book he didn't expect that. So completely the opposite result. I think the FBI, the successors to Comey, the blob bureaucrats there, have decided, polls are looking very close. Trump might win. We better not reveal these statistics until after the election because Trump will remember that. Let's play it fair and revise our statistics so we can say, we weren't playing politics. We gave you this small little gift just before the election.
What a perfect example of swamp politics there. And while we're sort of on the subject here, a fascinating story. Apparently, the Department of Justice is suing to stop Virginia, the state of Virginia, from taking non-citizens off the voter rolls. Now, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought only American citizens were allowed to vote. So what would be the problem with removing people who were not citizens from the voter rolls?
Well, all over the country, non-citizens are not supposed to register or to vote. But the only thing that stops them from registering and then voting is a box on the registration form which says I'm a citizen or I'm not a citizen. If they don't fill that out, they often get registered anyway. If they say they're a citizen, no one is going to check. So what happens is a bunch of people are discovered eventually because people compare court records of people who say they can't serve on juries because they're non-citizens with the voter registration rolls. These 6,000 odd people have admitted that they're either not citizens or are not willing to provide verification documentation that they are citizens. So they're being removed from the rolls. The Biden administration wants to stop that. What their motive is? Well, I have no proof, but I suspect it's because they don't want anyone to look behind the curtain in Virginia or any other state, and their problems in big states like Pennsylvania that are even worse than this. And they don't want people asking questions at all about non-citizens and how they ended up in the registration rolls and perhaps sometimes even voting.
John Fund, it's fascinating, a little disturbing. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.